Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is our non-Messianic channel. Uh, our men's advanced Bible study night, 22nd of November, 2024. Okay, our title inside the class is Africa and Israelites are rising. We're gonna go in and deal with that in tied scripture. Okay. Um, This is our non-Messianic channel, non-Messianic conversations, and we on every Thursday night at 7 to 9. It's our men's advanced Bible study. Okay, it's for our men's channel. Okay, shalom, welcoming everybody that don't know this. That this is a non-Messianic conversation. I mean, a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, the so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Okay, that was given to Moses by the Lord of hosts. Shalom and welcome to this channel, and welcome to our men's advanced Bible study. Okay, we're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, psalms. We got some current events, need to know information, and then we're going to our Q&A, and then we're going to our lesson, which is, as I said earlier, we'll be dealing with Africa, the Israelites, the true Israelites, and how they're rising and how it was prophesied. Okay, so with that being said, this moment of silence is for the Lord of hosts and all he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Oh Lord, we come before thee at this hour on your day that you have given to us for rest on your Shabbat, praising you and honoring you because of your position both in heaven and upon the earth, the position in which Creator Yahweh have given unto thee. Through your spirit and counsel, O Lord, we have awakened to know who we are as a people and who you are as our Savior and our Redeemer. We are thankful for all that you have done, and we are eagerly searching the scriptures out that we may be at the right place at the right time upon your arrival to this planet. We love you and we seek you daily, O Lord. There is none else besides thee to redeem us. We see you in the affairs of the world, and we faithfully await your deliverance. Peace be unto you. Okay? So with that being said, I'll read a song. Okay? Okay? I'm going to read the Psalms like this 61. Psalm 61 says, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Okay? This is a Psalm of David. Hear my cry, O God, attend unto my prayer. From the ends of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever, and I will trust in the coverts of thy wings. Okay? For thou, O God, hast heard my vows, and thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Though thou wilt prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations, he shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So will I sing and praise unto the name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. Okay, that was Psalm 61. It's Psalm of David, and lead me to the rock that is higher than I. And so we went over this on a previous psalm, I think during the week, about this rock thing. So go to the New Testament and it talks about how he asked Peter who they say we are. And Peter said that he was the rock. But we see right here, David is telling us that the Lord of hosts, our Redeemer, is the rock. Okay? So if he's David rock, then every other Israelite that ever existed, they his rock also. So like I said, we see a contradiction right there. Anybody have any comments on that? Okay. We're going to our current events. Let's see what I got. Okay.
Gentlemen, this is Inner Vlog. I say this is Inner Vlog, and I am here once more on the channel where we explore transformative stories of progress, innovation, and sustainability from around the world. Today, we take you to the heart of West Africa, Burkina Faso, where a bold initiative is reshaping the way the government approaches transportation and sustainability. Burkina Faso, a landlocked nation known for its resilience and resourcefulness, is now taking a pioneering step by introducing electric vehicles, EVs, for its civil servants. This move is more than just a shift in transportation. It is a statement of intent, a vision for a more sustainable, cost-efficient, and environmentally friendly future. Why is this significant? Let's set the stage. And like many countries, the high costs of fossil fuels have been a burden on its national budget. Between 2020 and 2021, for example, the presidential palace alone spent over 72 million CFA francs, approximately 108,000 euros, on fuel and lubricants, a figure that highlights the urgent need for cost-effective alternatives. The decision to adopt electric vehicles isn't just about saving money. It's about embracing a broader strategy for modernization and sustainability. By switching to EVs, Burkina Faso's government is aiming to reduce operational costs. The high expenses associated with gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles have long been a financial drain. Electric vehicles with lower fuel and maintenance costs offer a sustainable solution that allows the government to redirect resources to essential areas such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Combat air pollution. Ouagadougou, the nation's bustling capital, struggles with severe air pollution caused by traffic and combustion engines. The introduction of EVs will lead to cleaner air, improved public health, and a better quality of life for urban residents. Build local capacity. This isn't just about importing electric vehicles. It's about creating a homegrown industry. Plans are already in place to establish an electric vehicle manufacturing plant in Burkina Faso by the end of 2024. This initiative will not only strengthen the country's capacity to maintain its EV fleet, but will also create jobs, foster innovation, and position Burkina Faso as a leader in green technology within the region. Promote long-term sustainability. By reducing its dependency on imported fuels and embracing clean energy, Burkina Faso is charting a course for long-term economic and environmental resilience. Of course, no significant change comes without challenges. Transitioning to electric vehicles requires a robust charging infrastructure, an upgraded power grid, and the training of skilled professionals to maintain and operate these vehicles. However, Burkina Faso is tackling these challenges head-on, demonstrating a commitment to progress that serves as an inspiration to other nations. This story resonates far beyond Burkina Faso's borders. It is a reminder that bold decisions and innovative thinking can pave the way for sustainable solutions. It is our duty to ensure that every franc spent serves the greater good of our people. The environmental benefits of electric vehicles cannot be overstated. Transportation is one of the leading contributors to greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. By transitioning to electric vehicles, we are taking a proactive stance in reducing harmful gas emissions, thereby contributing to the global fight against climate change. Burkina Faso, like many nations, is vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change, including erratic rainfall patterns, desertification, and food insecurity. The adoption of EVs is a step toward mitigating these challenges by promoting cleaner air and a healthier environment, particularly in our urban centers.
Okay, so anybody heard about this? Chinese billionaire sent Burkina Faso over 50 electric cars for the government to use. Anybody heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of that. No,
What you think
sir.
about? What you think?
I don't know. I don't know if I mean, if it produces more jobs, I get it, but I don't, even looking at that movie that we looked with all of electric cars just drove by themselves, I'm not
Right.
sure about that. But if it produce jobs or whatever and that global warming, or I don't know about that neither, I'm not, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Yeah. So if you look at, I've been talking about this over and over again that that everybody got in the King James in the Edomite Bible, or they got America is supposed to be the last final beast that's supposed to be on the scene, but we see another one coming, which is China. And I made the statement over and over again how when the Chaldeans came, took them into captivity after 70 years, it wasn't the Chaldeans that delivered them, but that's the Lord of hosts used. It was the Medes and Persians. They the ones, Cyrus gave them what they needed. And I said right here, America the one brought us over here on slave ships. We see they ain't thinking about showing us no favor. But it's another beast coming. It's already here, China. They the ones going to deliver us. They're the ones going most high using to show favoritism toward us. Okay. So with that being said, go to the next one.
Amped up its operations in Ukraine. Putin has sent an additional 100,000 soldiers to the front lines in eastern and southern Ukraine. And the Russian soldiers are not alone. This time they have an ally fighting alongside in the trenches. And it's not Belarusian troops, but North Korean. Kim Jong-un has sent his elite soldiers to join Putin's troops on the front lines. It's an alliance unlike before. Russia and North Korea have ratified a mutual defense treaty. They have pledged to protect each other from the enemy without naming who the enemy really is.
Pluralsight has the upskilling you need to master today's AI tool.
Okay.
Russia still controls more than 1,000 kilometers of front line in eastern Ukraine. And Putin's troops are now making gains in the north as well, with two major pushes happening in the Kharkiv and the Sumy regions. And the Pentagon says that the North Korean troops are part of that offensive.
North Korea is helping Russia in its aggression against Ukraine. At the same time, the support that Russia is providing to North Korea, potentially including support for its nuclear and missile programs, poses a threat to stability and security in the Korean Peninsula as well. So we're very focused on this.
Putin has brought 11,000 North Korean troops to Ukraine's borders. This contingent may grow to 100,000. While some European leaders think about, some elections or something like this at Ukraine's expense, Putin is focused on winning this war. He will not stop on his own.
However, the West's concerns don't bother Putin. He has a goal in mind. Putin wants to capture as much Ukrainian land as possible before Donald Trump returns to the White House, which is in January next year. For the next few days, Putin has the time to advance his military in Ukraine, and this has been clearly visible, with Russia launching major airstrikes, followed by land incursions across Ukraine.
The Pokrovsk section is a very tense one. I know that only thanks to your resilience, the East hasn't been occupied in its entirety by the Russian Federation. The enemy gets our responses every day, from you and from your brothers in arms. I want you to know that the Ukrainian people are very thankful.
22 ще повратим, прошу передати їм. But US President Joe Biden has given Zelensky a goodbye gift. Biden has allowed Ukraine to use long-range missiles to strike deep inside Russia, a decision that kept Ukraine on edge for months. But now Zelensky says that the US-made attackers will do all the talking.
Today, there's a lot of talk in the media about us receiving permission for respective actions, but strikes are not carried out with words. Such things are not announced. Missiles will speak for themselves. They certainly will. Glory to Ukraine.
The MGM-140 Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMS, are part of the High Mobile Artillery Rocket System, or HIMARS group. Made by the United States in 1991, these long-range supersonic tactical ballistic missile systems were delivered to Ukraine last year. They've been used extensively to strike Russian targets. They can be loaded with missiles which carry a unitary warhead or multiple bomblets, and can strike targets at a distance of 300 kilometers. Which means that with Biden's green signal, Zelensky is eyeing Putin's key military assets inside Russia, and joining the United States is the United Kingdom. Keir Starmer has allowed the supply of more Storm Shadow missiles for Kyiv, which will be used against Russia.
So that is my clear message here. It's number one on my agenda. Obviously, I'm not going to get into operational details because the only winner, if we were to do that, is Putin, and I'm not prepared to do that.
The Storm Shadow is a Franco-British long-range cruise missile. It carries a 450-kilogram warhead and is air-launched from fighter jets. The Storm Shadow was inducted in 2003 and has a range of 550 kilometers. Which means that just like the attackers, the Storm Shadow can deal lethal blows deep inside Russia. However, it's not either of these weapons which have Putin worried. Russia's latest push into Ukraine comes as Putin prepares to meet Donald Trump on the negotiating table.
Okay. Any comments on that? We kind of talked about that during the week, how that all of a sudden Joe Biden trying to be this high dollar president, all of a sudden making all these decisions when just a couple of months ago he's supposed to be they supposed to deboned him and took him off of the running for the president and gave it to Kamala Harris. And now all of a sudden he got a snapback and he's the head for a strong president all of a sudden, making all these military decisions.
Yeah, he went from the nursing home right to college again.
Right, yeah. Back to the Pentagon.
Right back to the Pentagon. He was supposed to been don't have it all, right, slow and everything. And now he making decisions, but I thought Kamala Harris pretty much took over.
Exactly. Is that something?
And I want to say shalom, brother, Mr. Leonard. Shalom, AJ.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah. You got any comments on that, AJ?
I'm just looking at the setup. I mean, all the actions that I see and all the different news clips just looks like it's getting closer to the World War.
Right.
World War III. You know, that King Alfred plan is it's just playing out in front of us.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I seen a video of Mitch McConnell. That old man, he looked like that guy from Silence of the Lamb. Remember he was in a wheelchair and they threw him in there with the pigs?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And he said that they should have been let Ukraine use those missiles.
Exactly. Well, we already know that ain't number wordplay. The same thing what they doing now, and when they come out and talk, it's the same thing with everything that's in the New Testament written and read. It's a trap. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we ain't trying to hit. We already know what's up with these people, who they are and where they come from, their origins. Yeah, but yeah, I saw something today, man. I was hoping I was gonna remember it, and I'm glad I did. It was I keep on talking about DNA and stereotyping and how we have no idea what our forefathers saw when they first encountered these people. When the Cain descendants first came in contact with Adam's descendants, and when you understand that that angelic DNA, when it mixed with Cain's descendants, and that it ain't right. It's a bad mix. You don't know what you're gonna get, because not only that, they had intermingled that same DNA with animal DNA. So they all this, when you start talking about the European and all that DNA is all intertangled together. And that's why the Most High said for us, he didn't want us, get no daughters from them or no sons, because that DNA is going to be injected in us. Well, I saw a video this morning where this bride had a penis, like a 10-inch penis, coming out of her forehead when she was born. Let that ferment.
That's crazy. I thought, what, hermaphrodite with the forehead?
Yeah, so you thinking that it's bad when it's like I said, where the hell hermaphrodites come from? The Most High is perfect. He says he caused the water to recede, and the land came up, and the land was good. So then he create the man and the woman. It was good. Where this shit coming from? This from where the angels came down. So she had a penis and the balls sitting on, the DNA. That's what the DNA did.
That's stupid. You said the balls.
Balls and nuts and everything was on the penis hanging down on her forehead. Okay.
That's why he said, "Don't mingle thy seed."
That's why he said, don't mingle with them. That's what he told him. That's why he told us not to. And we see what we got now. We seen all kind of shit. But like I said, nobody had a clue on what they came in contact with when they first saw them, and the way they looked at. They didn't. This is like 25 to 3,000 years later that they didn't able to tweak that DNA now, because they didn't clean it up. Like I say, but we still see signs of it, like long ass necks and the big ears and all this, and the faggot shit. All that's from the angelic DNA.
That's what David said.
Right.
You don't deal with the maimed and the blind, the humpbacks of Notre Dame and all of that stuff.
Right. Like I said, how you gonna have the Most High have an Israelite and he born lame? He the architect of the whole universe, but he got sons and daughters that they born, they fucked up. No, man. You're coming from that. That's why he said don't mingle with them. But you probably want to Google that, man. Check that out, man. I say, what the hell?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen a lady that had a horn when she was born. It had a horn on her forehead. I seen one of those.
No. I said what I saw. That's a penis.
Oh, okay.
It was drooping down. It wasn't sticking up like a horn. It was hanging down. It was a penis.
Oh, yes, sir.
Go look at it. If you can go back in history, yeah, it's a penis. And then, like I said, and the testes zone. So, like
Shalom.
I said,
My fault.
now go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say they showed a creature like that too on one of them Men in Blacks I watched when I was younger.
Oh, the chinny, the guy with the chin. He had the balls on the chin. The chinny
Yes,
ends, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. And they putting it in our face, but we sleeping on it. even remember 300, the movie 300.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, with the humpback.
when they climbed on top of the mountain.
Right. They was throwing all the defects and the rejects, like David said, that he hated. Every time when a baby comes, you don't know what you're gonna get. See what I'm saying? He might have 3 arms. See what I'm saying? Or like, oh boy, he was a humpback. But they had all them bones that was over that cliff, all the babies that they was throwing away. They came out looking like nut buckets. They threw them away. And they only kept the good ones.
Yep. And then when you seen that the only way they got conquered and beat was because of that humpback. They should have killed him, threw him off the bridge. Yes, sir.
Right. And then, like I said before, once you get that in your mindset, and you walking around with that in your mind, what I'm saying, on the forefront of your mind, thinking like a Hebrew, you start seeing all kind of crazy ass shit that you weren't even paying no attention to.
That's why I was wondering why I was so big on phenotypes.
Oh yeah.
And some people dismiss phenotypes, but it's good. Like G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle.
Oh yeah. Because I remember like shit, it was about maybe 3 years ago or so. I was driving down the highway, it was a little town outside of where I live at, and it was just getting dark. It was dark. It was getting, the sun was going down. It was kind of like a twilight, and I was riding, and I saw this dude walking down the side of the highway, and then I say, I'm thinking that, I see his arms. It's almost like his arms are dragging the ground, right? But his legs are real short, but his arm was dragging the ground. I'm thinking, I said, damn, must be the sun, the reflection of the sun throwing me off, right? And I got up there, man, this fool had, he had you know what I'm saying? He's about, he had a body of a man, like he was about 6'9", but he had little bitty legs. And he had hair ass arms and his big old hands and all that, but the rest is, he had little bitty feet. His calves and his knees and his thighs were short, real short, like a midget. But he had the upper part, he had a long ass waist. You know what I'm saying? Long waist, long ass back and long neck, he had long ass neck and long arms, almost dragging on the ground. I said, dang, I heard of a master gas. I said, what the hell?
Yeah, ain't no telling what he could do.
Yeah, then he just walked down the side of the highway with a like a Miami Heat baseball hat on backwards, like everything normal. And I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell? This shit tripped me out, man. And it's like I was saying, we don't know what the hell our forefathers saw when they first came in contact with these folks. Yeah.
It's
We got,
long.
yeah.
No, I'm sorry, brother Leonard. I was gonna say, and people don't know, a lot of us that lived in like all black towns or went to all black schools and things like that. Cause as I've gotten older and like started working in corporate America or whatever, I see that a lot of black people like they don't live around white people. They separated like we supposed to be.
Right.
But when you when you're around them, because the job I had before this one, I worked with just all Gentiles,
Right.
and I used to ask them questions, entertain myself. That was when you started the channel. I was working there, and man, when I really seen this one, I think you was kind of teaching about the blood and all that kind of stuff. And I had asked one of the white boys at work. I said, man, I was just asking them, like, would you eat like bear meat? He was like, yeah. It was 2 of them. I was asking this, and then I was like, would you eat a wolf? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, man, these dudes crazy. Then I was like, shit, man, would you eat a person? And they was like, I mean, if I wouldn't get in trouble.
Like that song?
That's crazy. Because it had movies about that. It was
Oh
some
yeah,
airplane that crashed up on one of those cold mountains somewhere. I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but
that's
they
all
was eating the people,
right. Exactly.
Yeah,
their own
before rescue
passengers.
came, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Right.
But hey, that's where you get cannibalism from.
Right. And then, like I said, we ain't like I said, you start thinking like a Hebrew. Uh, okay, when the Passover lamb, right? The
Yes,
fat
sir.
and same parts of that lamb was for the Yahweh. It was consumed and the fire consumed it and burned it up, but it was part of that lamb that was belonged to the Israelites. They had to eat it, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, go to human sacrifice. What these angels requiring them to do. Some of
Yep.
that baby or some of that person belonged to that angel or that being that wanted them to sacrifice, but the other part belonged to them. They had to eat it.
Yes, sir. And that's what they do to this day with that blood. I forgot what they was calling it. Oh, adrenochrome.
Right, exactly, right,
Yeah, yes, sir. To keep them younger,
right.
and to speak on the fat and giving the fat to our Redeemer. You know, one thing: if you season a good steak, you know that fat be the best part too.
Right.
Exactly, right. But see that that's the trick. Like I was saying, when most eyes, if you seriously seeking him and you seeking out the truth, he gonna bring you to the truth. So yeah, hell yeah, the fat good, right? But do it belong to you?
No, sir. It sure don't.
Come on, see what I'm saying? It's just like that lobster with the sitting there with the in the butter and all that on it. Can you eat it?
Absolutely not.
You
No
can't eat
crab, no shellfish, no
it.
nothing coming out of that water unless it has fins and scales on it.
Yeah, the pork chops. Yeah, yeah, ain't yours. Ain't that something?
I was
And so,
talking to somebody about that, and they were saying to me, um, well, in the New Testament it says, and in the Old Testament it says everything that the Creator made was good. And I had to
right,
explain to him, you are absolutely correct. The pork is good, but it's not good for consumption. The pork is like the garbage man.
right,
He serves a purpose, like the crab and lobster. It
right,
cleans the ocean, along
right,
with the pig cleans the land and tills the land.
right. So a prime example, which I tend to talk about all the time, the Israelite. Okay, you got 12 tribes, but everybody, all the 11 of them tribes ain't no Israelites. They ain't no Levites, right?
Yes, sir.
That Levite serve a purpose. He got a purpose. So when he say it's good, that's what he talking about. So the crab and the lobster, all them, what they got a purpose. And their purpose is to clean the ocean and clean the bottom of the sea. All that. That's why he don't want us to eat them. So they good for the purpose that he created them for.
Yes, sir. And then if you overfish them or you turn them into a delicacy, what happens to the ocean? Yes,
Right.
sir. They
Because you
wonder why
take
blood happens and all the mosquitoes and everything.
right. Just like blood. He said blood when the purpose of the blood, whether it's in the animals, fish, or it's in us, he said the life is in the blood. The blood is where the spirit is at. The spirit is in the blood. It's not meant to eat. So the purpose that he made it for is good. But when you start eating it, drinking it, and all that bull crap, then it ain't good. That's not what it was for.
That's why he said, don't eat. No, you make sure your food is well done. Don't eat the blood because you take on the life of that whatever you eating. So if
Exactly.
you eating a cow and it's rare, you taking on that blood. You
Yeah,
taking on that.
so you out of your league because that's when you start. That's the most high. That's what he. That's his realm. Okay. So that's
Yes,
how
sir.
they
Because he said when you sacrifice an animal, you're supposed to throw the blood, right?
right.
On an altar.
You drain it.
Yeah, you
Clean
drain
out
it on the altar. Yes, sir.
the animals.
That's why we not supposed to be drinking it or dealing with it. But in
Yeah.
this world, they call it a benachrome, whatever they call it.
Right. Well, see, when you start talking about that, the vinachrome, right? Okay, that it goes back to all this pedophilia and all this. Like I said, you got a grown man, and he penetrated a little bitty baby or a little 7, 8 year old girl, right? It's the fear. See what I'm saying? It's the fear and the trauma that he bring, even penetrating a little young boy. You're a grown man. The fear that the kid receive from that kid releases that venadrone. That's
Yes,
the only
sir.
way to,
Into
that's
that,
the only way to
yes,
get it. That's the
sir.
only way to get it. That's the only way to get it.
It's got to be in torture or fear or something. Yes, sir. To
Right,
pull it out of it. Yep.
right. That's why they doing it. That's where you're getting all that horror, all that. What's going on? So you say, what you talking about? That's one of the things the angels, the fallen angels talk to him. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't part of who we was. That wasn't being taught to us. It was taught to them though. Just like how to summon them. They taught them how to summons them. Because you got to look at today, all I mean, look what Michael did when he came down and killed 185,000 uh, Assyrians when Hezekiah had prayed. So why is the earth still here? You had 200 angels came down. How is the earth still here? Because they bound by certain things that they can't do. Even to the day, they bound. These things they can't do. Because if that wasn't the case, this place been fucking tore up. Excuse my expression, it been tore up.
Exactly. And the same thing with us as
Right,
Hebrews on this planet. They could
right,
have decimated us. They could have
right.
got rid of us at any time.
Exactly. So it's all kind of stuff going on behind us that we don't know nothing about. And that's what the scripture says. The book of Enoch tells us that. He said they came down and taught mankind things he wasn't supposed to be even dealing with, things he wasn't supposed to know, things that were over his pay grade.
Yep.
And
The
so,
shields,
right,
metals, blacking of the eyes,
right.
taking the baby from the womb. Yes, sir.
Heroin, marijuana, and all that. They told them whatever was up there to this day. Mushrooms and all that. See what I'm saying? Oh yeah. So like I said, we got to zero in on that, and incorporate that in our understanding. Okay, let me see if I did this need to know information. Let me see. Yeah, here goes some need to know information. Okay.
Is now becoming all too real. And the United States has been warned by Russia and other Russian allies. Now, today I want to break down what's happening, what Russia just told the United States, the threats that we are seeing coming to the US via Russia, but to Poland. I want to explain all this because right now, a lot of people here in the United States are saying that, oh, it's okay, it's over there. We don't have to worry about, there will be no attack here on US soil. And yes, that may be the truth, but we don't know that. And we have an issue with the president-elect, Donald Trump, and the Biden administration. I'll explain what's going on.
I want to address that right quick, man. Because there's two things that bedazzle me, right? The one when they say that Israel is over here, that you know what I mean, that we was here, we the Israelites, we was over here, we never was in Africa. And then this one right here. But let me see, I lost my train of thought. Let me go back and catch it.
with the president-elect Donald Trump and the Biden administration. I'll explain what's going on, but you could be asked what Russia just told the United States, the threats that we are seeing coming to the U.S. via Russia, but to Poland. I want to explain all this because right now, a lot of people here in the United States are saying that, oh, it's okay. It's over there. We don't have to worry about it. There will be no attack here on U.S. soil. And yes, that may be the truth, but we don't know that. And we have an issue.
Yeah. So like I was saying before, everybody's saying that it's not, it's over there, it's not gonna happen here. So did not the Lord of hosts discontinue Israel as a nation? Didn't he come to Jerusalem? Didn't he send Antiochus and the Greeks and all of them, and they shut Israel down? To this very day, we don't even know where it's at. Did he not do that?
Absolutely. And they also said that you'll never find the Garden of Eden. It's surrounded by angels. You'll never get in again.
So look at America. What America is compared to the Garden of Eden and the Israel. And they keep hollering about, they ain't coming here. Come on, he coming here. If he, like he said, if I chastise my own people, you think I'm not gonna chastise you? Come on.
Exactly. Because he said he gave them a time. It's a time of the Gentiles, right?
Right. Exactly.
So we already know a kingdom. We talk about Nebuchadnezzar and all of these kings in the scriptures that ran the world. So we looking at America. America runs the world. Everybody want to be America. America was the one that runs everything. That's a kingdom.
Right.
Just like Rome.
Right. Exactly. And another thing about that too is that when we factoring in and we researching and studying and trying to zero in on and line all this stuff out, okay, like in my case, it's a lot. In these last days, a man lived to live 70 years. That's 70 years. So I'm right at 50, 60, 61, right? So 61 years. And I'm looking at America. Let's go back and look at, for example, the Syrian army. And then the Egyptian army. The Egyptians had giants. Look at the Chaldean army. Man, this army here ain't shit. But that's all we know. The little 50 years, 40 years that we know. This ain't nothing. This not, this ain't nothing special compared to the things that was going on in our previous civilizations and in history before us. Well, we look at things with narrow vision. Like I said, then you got to factor in those 18 years when you got brainwashed in school, history, and all that. You factoring in your conclusion of what you're gonna deal with based on that, instead of getting outside of that. You know
yes,
what
sir.
I'm saying?
And them giants, if we look at it like that, them giants was the nukes.
Right. Exactly. What makes you think the Most High? So see, that's how arrogant they is. What makes you think the Most High showing them any kind of favoritism? He coming here. He gonna tear this shit up. He told Jerusalem up. Come on. He told Babylon up. Come on. He gonna tear this place up. That's what he gonna do. This ain't even this, like when you really look at it, this place is not really even, all this was this place was created and this time frame that we in right here was for our captivity. The arrogance of these white folks got you making you think it's something else different or something special about it. He gonna tear this shit up, man. He told Egypt up. He told Israel up. He gonna tear this place up.
And they thinking that they can't be touched. America's so great, it can't be touched. But then going back to saying that they saying this is the new world over here, and Europe and all these other places was the old world. So I don't understand how people can say that we was here and it's always been here.
Exactly.
You know, this is the new world. Like they always say, America, you having first world problems.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Right. I mean, in a prime, we're looking at a prime example, you know, of how quick shit changed. Look at what happened with all these Mexicans. Shit, if you continue to go on with how they infiltrating America and fluctuating and coming in here and taking over, doing all this shit, if you give it 10, 20 years at the most, nobody ain't gonna know what was going on with America before they came. You ain't gonna even, you ain't gonna see no resemblance of what was actually here before they came. It's the same thing with everything else. You can't, come on, man. They tell you that what his name? I'm trying to think of the guy name that had all the gold came out of Mali.
Mansa Musa.
Yeah,
I
Mansa
was about to
Musa.
say Master Musa. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he came on the scene because of his predecessor took 2,000 ships and came here. That's
Right.
what changed the face of America is when they came here. Like I was watching this video with his brother. I think it's called Seven, name of the channel. This dude is like he dealing with Egyptology and all that, and African history. And he was talking about how that when Columbus and them came here, they saw those villages. There was villages all over America, especially on the East Coast. The exact same villages that was in Africa that shaped like Malian, like the Malian people when they came here. So, like I said before, it's the same thing you see now. These Mexicans came, give them 50 years, 30 years. You're not gonna see nothing. They're gonna change the whole face of everything. It's gonna get what happened before. They're gonna get wiped out. It's the same thing with that. You want to say that they Israelites over here? No, they came here. Those are Israelites.
Exactly.
The Maya was Israelites.
And they say, how did they get here? You couldn't bring no ships through the Atlantic or nothing. It was too much rough waters. But when I did my research, I know from Africa, there's a stream of water, like somebody going surfing. You want to catch that wave. It's a stream that'll take you straight here. And people don't research that.
Yeah, they put it right there in the movie on what's that movie with the little Pixar movie with the fish? I think it's Nebo.
Well,
yes, sir.
Nemo.
Yep. You find Nebo. Yep.
Remember the turtles, the big old sea turtles? They told Nebo to come with them, and they got on that highway, that Atlantic current, and they took them all the way around where they had to go. I'm telling you what
Yes,
happened.
sir. Yes, sir. So you talking about we can't, it wasn't no motors or nothing back then. All you had to do is put a piece of paper on there that would have brought it. Like they throw bottles in the water with notes.
Yeah, with notes in them, and take them right on wherever you got to go to. Yeah, we're going to get in that current. You ain't got to do nothing. You sit back.
That's it.
It's going to bring you right to the same place every time. They knew that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
hey, shalom. Shalom, Sarge. Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay. Yeah. Shalom, bro. So, yeah. So you can, they want to disregard all that, but come on, man. It's right there in our faces. You ain't no. I mean, like I said, it's a reason that the Giza Plateau is there. How you gonna get out of that? If you say that America's over here, well, we see in our history, we was in Egypt we had a servitude in Egypt for over 400 years. So the plateau, who moved the pyramids? Who moved them big ass pyramids over from here to over there?
Exactly. If Egypt's supposed to be Memphis, Memphis or all them places. Yeah, you just left 8 hours away, 13 hours away.
Right. It did so let's look at that. Because so we see because of the pyramids where Egypt is at, and so you say Israel is over here. So remember when the Pharaoh told Moses, Moses went and told him, our God told you to let us go. The Pharaoh said, leave and come back tomorrow, we'll talk to you. So they left from there, went all the way, came to America. And then the next day, they came all the way back across the Atlantic to talk to the Pharaoh. You hear me? Come on, man. So that's our the Most High making stuff so plain now. The pyramids we see where the pyramids at. There's no way hell nobody moved them. So what are you talking about? Wherever Egypt at, Israel is in the same place.
And you can't get the pyramids mixed with the mound builders. Can't get that mixed up. Yes, sir.
And then back to that phenotype. Look at the Negroes they're saying that. Look at their comments. Okay. The Israelite was identified by the afro, the woolly hair, sheep. That's why he's saying sheep. My sheep. God, you don't have no woolly hair, and you know, come on, something going on. Something ain't right.
I'm just here to make you think, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Them guys, that same cat is sitting around here telling you about your history. You from here. You from America. I'm here to make you think.
Look at their comments.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, so let me see where we at. Let me play a little more of this.
With the president-elect Donald Trump and the Biden administration. I'll explain what's going on, but you could be asked to enlist in the U.S. military very soon. This means you may be drafted simply because our military recruitment numbers are too low. I want to explain what's going on and how millions and millions of Americans could be impacted very soon. So I'll explain all this in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed these daily updates. And now let's begin. So this is turning into a massive crisis. Look at this right here. It says a U.S. military base in Poland is priority target, according to Russia. It says war of words escalates between Moscow and the West. Here's what you need to understand. There is a conflict between Russia and Ukraine, but because of the United States, our involvement with Ukraine, that's causing a concern with Russia. Because of the Biden administration allowing long-range missiles to strike inside of Russia, well, Russia's upset. And then the other day when the Biden administration approved Ukraine to get anti-personnel mines, well, that just threw Russia over the edge. And now Russia wants to fight back. Well, look at this. It says, threat of global war, serious and real, according to Poland's Tusk. Says we feel that the unknown is approaching, according to their prime minister. Yeah, it's serious. But I want to play this clip for you. Listen to this and let me know your thoughts on this.
This is a serious escalation, as you just heard from Russia, for the first time, threatening directly, not just to hit a target within Ukraine, but to hit a NATO target. We're talking about that base that you all have been discussing in Poland. This is in the northern part of the country. And it's important to a base where offensive weapons are kept. This is purely a defensive base. It was largely brought up by the United States, but again, a NATO base with missile defense capabilities in the case that Russia or, frankly, China or someone else might try to attack a NATO nation. This would be one of the first lines of defense there.
So right there, he's saying this is one of the first lines of defense. And I just want to go back and show you this, okay? This is how close it is. This is why it's such a big deal. It's 93 miles from the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. That is how close these are, okay? This is again, if Russia sends a missile and headed towards the U.S. this way, okay, towards the west, guess what? This will intercept it and it will shoot it down. That's why this is such a big deal. But when Russia is now saying that Poland is a serious threat and they could strike Poland, again, a NATO ally, in order to bring down our missile defenses, that's a huge concern. That's a really big concern. Now, there's other stuff going on as well, and I want to explain that. But first, listen to this.
Ukraine's former military commander-in-chief is warning that World War III has already begun because of the direct involvement of Russian allies in the war. This, as senior North Korean general, a North Korean general was reportedly wounded in a recent Ukrainian strike on Russia's Kursk region, where more than 10,000 North Korean troops are deployed. Joining me now, former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor and CPAC board member, KT McFarland. KT, thanks very much for being here. Things are getting awfully serious here in this war.
Yeah, serious in two ways. I mean, one, President Trump has said he's going to negotiate an end to the war very quickly. The Russian president has said he's open to negotiations, and the Ukrainian president has said he's open to negotiations. And
so, President-elect Donald Trump ready to negotiate. Vladimir Putin wants to negotiate, end this war, and so does the Ukrainian president wants to end this war. But what does Ukraine want to end the war? What does Russia want to end the war? And then, as far as Donald Trump's concerned, just end the war. Give them whatever they need, get Russia out, and then end the war. Let's listen a little bit more.
And yet, who's not? It's the Biden administration. It's almost like the Biden administration has decided they're going to sabotage in advance any peace talks that President Trump might be able to have as he becomes president.
So the Biden administration is potentially trying to sabotage this. Well, guess what? She's not the first person. This is KT McFarland. She's not the first person to say that they are trying to sabotage the Trump administration. We've heard this for many weeks, that Democrats will sabotage Trump in any way possible, especially leading up to Inauguration Day.
Okay. Any comments on that? What do you think?
What about, is that the New Testament and Revelations? I can't remember where it's at. But talking about putting hooks in their cheeks and pushing them back.
That's Ezekiel 38.
Yes, that's what I see going on. Everybody want to run or whatever. They pulling them back in it. It's time.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, it's like a chessboard. You did something? Yeah.
It is.
Right.
They gotta fulfill prophecy.
Exactly.
You know, what's going on is a fulfillment of prophecy. Like you always say, Mr. Atlantic, he said it. It's come to pass. Right. It's gonna happen.
Right. He bringing it to pass. He spoke it, and he's gonna bring it to pass. And everybody forgets that. A lot of people don't even know that. They keep on trying to finagle their way into it. Go back and look what he said. He's gonna bring that to pass. Right. So anyway, anybody else got anything on that? Okay. I'm gonna open up for some Q&A. Anybody have any questions, comments about anything they heard on this line or researching? They want to bring something up? Yeah, I got two more things before I go into this Africa and Israelites rising. I'm always talking about Abraham Tory, right, in Sahel, and that they trying everything they can. Like I say, when you go back and look at the Most High, he used one man. He used David. He used Joshua. He used Moses. He always using one man, and around that man, he starts stirring up all kind of drama, right? And so they trying to find some kind of way to knock this guy Abraham Tory off, right? But he got all these people, the Russians and the Chinese, everybody, and surrounded him and to protect him. So they're trying to find some kind of way to get in there to knock him off. So all of a sudden now, this guy from Nigeria, he wants to unite with them. Well, if you go back and look at it earlier, the ECOWAS, whatever that little African bloc was, this Nigeria was over there. And they had a problem with Tory. So I'm showing you this for a reason, because if some shit pop off, you're gonna see. Okay, so let me play a little bit of it. Okay. All of a sudden, he wants to join in.
Did you know that your bank account is a...
Okay.
African nations are beginning to realize how much they can depend on one another after years of maltreatment. The fact that ECOWAS did nothing to stop the hijacking of Nigeria's president's jet in France was a major wake-up call. This demonstrated to the entire African population the value of unity. Will they all come together, though, is the true question. Let's investigate. ECOWAS, the West African Economic Bloc, is on the verge of a crisis that might reshape its function in the area. For many years, ECOWAS has been praised for defending regional stability despite political changes and military takeovers. However, the challenge it confronts today is even more subtle. External influence from nations that were once colonial, such as France. The topic was brought up again by the recent seizure of Nigeria's presidential aircraft in France. West Africa has once again been reminded who controls the political system by France, the former colonial powerhouse with a lengthy history of meddling in African affairs. However, this goes beyond a single aircraft or nation. This concerns the sovereignty of West Africa in the future, and the capacity of African countries to function independently without the threat of outside intervention. However, what is the connection between the plane seizure and ECOWAS being a puppet of France? We must examine this thoroughly, beginning with a straightforward query. Which is riskier, a constitutional coup or a military coup? In West Africa, the term coup frequently evokes visions of soldiers occupying government buildings, military tanks advancing through urban streets, and leaders being overthrown at gunpoint. Let's back off, though. Is the biggest threat facing West Africa a military takeover, or is there a more subtle, sneaky menace at hand? Here comes the constitutional coup, a legitimate but equally destructive means of gaining power that goes unnoticed by the world, yet harms democracy just as much. Constitutional coups have been common in West Africa in recent years. In order to prolong their reign, presidents who were first elected through democratic channels have altered their nation's constitutions, transforming democracy into a front. Under the guise of legality, these leaders manipulate electoral processes, alter laws, and hold on to power for far longer than they should. These constitutional coups are even riskier than military ones in many respects. Why? Because they undermine democracy's fundamental basis, makes the rise of legitimate opposition all but impossible. For its part, ECOWAS has been quick to denounce military takeovers. The international community responds quickly to military takeovers, enacting sanctions, demanding the prompt restoration of civilian governments, and mobilizing for regional action. However, what happens when leaders alter their constitutions to increase their authority? Quiet. No anger, no cries for action, no sanctions. There is a clear double standard. These constitutional coups have frequently gone unnoticed by ECOWAS, the alleged defender of democracy in West Africa, allowing tyrants to consolidate power under the pretense of legitimacy. Why is this the case? The complex dance of geopolitics has the answer. Many of these politicians have strong connections to former colonial powers, especially France, which has a stake in keeping things as they are. Western countries can continue to influence their resources, economies, and policies as long as these leaders hold sway. Consider the situation in Ivory Coast, where President Alassane Ouattara was able to achieve a contentious third term in 2020. ECOWAS was sluggish to react, issuing little more than a vague statement urging peace in the face of massive protests and charges of constitutional meddling. Why the hesitancy? Maybe because, like many West African governments, Ouattara has the backing of France, which gains from having a reliable friend in the area. Western interests in West Africa are protected as long as politicians like Ouattara hold on to power. leaving ECOWAS in the difficult position of having to decide between upholding its ties with influential outside parties and promoting democracy. Let's not be naive, though. The external factors that enable these coups to occur in the first place pose a greater threat to West African democracy than military assailants or presidents who crave power. Doing ECOWAS in favor of private partners.
They say trading takes 10,000 hours to master.
Can be found in the increasing dissatisfaction with ECOWAS's incapacity to take decisive action in the face of internal strife and outsider meddling. Like many other West African countries, Nigeria has realized that ECOWAS is no more the powerful, cohesive organization that it once was. Rather, the conflicting interests of its member states and the influence of former colonial powers have caused it to become a broken body that is paralyzed. The last straw was France seizing Nigeria's aircraft. This served as a wake-up call for Nigeria, in addition to being an affront to its sovereignty. The incident...
Yeah, so because of this, now this Nigerian president, he wants to go over there and join with Tory, Mali, and Niger. But the whole time, he was against it. He was against Tory. But now you want to go over there. So, like I said, keep your eyes on that. There's a dead cat on the line with that. Okay? Any comments on it?
Well, they putting some fire on them. You know, Mr. Leonard? They put some fire on you. Now you got to run to safety. The Most High know how to do you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it where they had a meeting and they told them, which one of you Negroes gonna go over there and get Tory for me? You hear me?
Yes, sir. And then I seen a video a couple days ago where they put a hit on Tory, and Tory ended up getting all the money. Did you see the money that they put on him?
Exactly.
Suitcases of money, and he took the money.
The soldiers went along with it, and they was with Tory the whole time.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but they believe me, they trying to figure out some kind of way to drop him, bro. So like I said, keep your eye on that, because it's a dead cat on the line with that. Yeah. So with that being said, I want to show you this right here. Going back to the video I always playing about Pastor Manning said that it's gonna come a time real soon in our history, but that he's gonna round all the black folks up and ship us out here, right? Check this out. So you see all this big, what they setting up now for this big mass.
Watch this before.
This big mass deportation they talking about gonna happen when Trump come in, right?
Yeah, because they were saying that we can be part of it too. They trying to say that anybody that's not from here. So they even calling us out on this one too.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out. Check it out.
What will be Donald Trump's first act as president? It may be the declaration of a national emergency because Trump wants to keep his election promise. So on his first day in office, he plans to order mass deportations, and he will deploy the US military for this.
Okay.
Says who? Well, the man himself. The president-elect put this out on social media on his own platform, which is called Truth Social. And when he says mass deportations, how many people is he talking about? It could be millions of people. That's what Trump's team says. Listen to this.
We're going to see a large number, by the millions, of self-deportations as well. And so these are pragmatic places to start. That would give us, yes, the largest mass deportation in American history.
Obviously, you cannot deport millions of people in a single day, but Donald Trump wants to start big. He wants to make a splash on day one. So he's focusing on picking a team that can do the job.
January 21.
He's appointing loyalists to handle deportations, like Kristi Noem, who will lead the Department of Homeland Security.
Karen.
This is the agency which deports illegals from the United States. Then we have Tom Homan, who has been named Trump's border czar. So the team is in place, but do they have a plan? How will they go about it? Who will they target first?
Check it out.
Reports say people from 4 countries are on Donald Trump's radar.
4 countries.
4 countries: Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Joe Biden had rolled out a special policy for these 4 countries. Their citizens could enter America without a visa.
You see that? There ain't no Mexicans. So let's look at it. Let's hear it again. These ain't no Mexicans.
Countries: Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela.
Ain't no Mexicans.
Joe Biden had rolled out a special policy for these 4 countries. Their citizens could enter America without a visa. They had to fulfill some other criteria. They had to clear a vetting process, get an American citizen to sponsor them, and then they could come without a visa. Nearly 530,000 migrants benefited from this policy. They could live and work in America for 2 years. Trump now wants to expel them. He plans to wind up this program when he takes office. Plus, he'll sign some executive orders to widen the deportation net to make sure more people can be thrown out. This could include pumping more money into enforcement agencies, hiring more officers for deportation, and building vast holding facilities or staging centers, places where you can hold migrants until they're sent back. And to do all of this, he plans to deploy the US military. Now, this proposal has triggered controversy because this would mean troops on American soil, American troops on American soil. To do this, Donald Trump will have to use emergency powers. He will have to declare a national emergency, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is an extreme step and will most likely be challenged in court.
The reality will hit the government and the new government on day one of what they can do or what they cannot. They may have plans. I don't believe that they will be easy for them to implement anything.
But this is unlikely to deter Trump. He has seen more than his fair share of legal challenges. Even in his first term in office, many of his immigration policies were struck down by courts. This time, though, he can hope for a better strike rate and more favorable verdicts because of the judges that he appointed. Before leaving office in 2021, Trump had appointed more than 200 federal judges. They're still around. Plus, the Supreme Court has a conservative majority. 6 out of 9 judges in the US Supreme Court were appointed by the Republicans. So this time, the odds are stacked against Trump's rivals, also against countries like Mexico.
If we have any comments on that?
Yeah, Mexico. I thought, well, I may be wrong, but Mexican woman is a Jew, and that's what I seen. And she said, if you deport any Mexicans back to Mexico, we're going to get rid of all the Americans in Mexico.
Right.
She going to deport them too. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. So what did we just hear? Who he targeting from day one?
Hey, everybody but them. He's targeting our dark-skinned melanation.
Right. So she blowing hot air. They all working together.
Exactly.
Because he just told you who they gonna target on day one, January 21st. Negroes.
Yes, sir. And then on top of that, they want to act like Negroes was the cannibals, and we just talked about who's the cannibals.
Right. Yeah. He already go back and look at everything he done. It wasn't about no Mexicans.
No, sir, because I own a company down here in Florida, and if they got rid of the Mexicans, I'm gonna be rich.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right. Down here too. Right. But I don't know about down there where you at, but down here, ever since Trump won and all this stuff is on the internet about what he gonna do on day one, they disappeared. Like mosquitoes. You used to see them all over. You don't see them.
Same thing here. They running scared for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Used to be, you know, everywhere you go, they sitting there looking at you crazy like you don't belong here, but you can't even find them now. It disappeared like roaches. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're going to the lesson, which is I'm just gonna play a couple of videos to shine a light on the fact that Africa is rising. Like I said, Isaiah chapter 60, but it's you got all kind of chapters. Isaiah 63, Isaiah 64 is telling you that in the last days, it's pretty much telling you where the Israelites at, because it says they in Africa, predominant, you know, 10 tribes. So he says, which is over in West Africa. When you say West Africa, you're saying Sahel, you're talking about Negro land, the Israelites. Okay. So
yeah, but I thought it was Turtle Island.
Oh hell no.
Oh yeah, they want to talk about Turtle Island, America's Turtle Island. This is where we at. Yeah, and then in the scripture it tells you that they dropped them off in Haiti, Jamaica before they even got here.
Right, exactly.
But hey, this is the place.
Way before 1619.
Facts.
Like that something? All right, check this out. Okay, I'm tripping.
Ali, and there's no shaking. We are here today to proclaim loudly that the Akufo-Addos and Ouattaras do not speak for us.
Right.
They speak for themselves.
So we're talking about
and the imperial masters. We speak.
We're talking about Ghana, and I was just telling you ECOWAS. That's these Negroes that's with the French. That's the house Negroes. So this brother here, he's with Tory. He said they ain't with them. They ain't speaking for them. They not, you know, when you hear them talking, don't even listen to them. So check it out.
For ourselves. And we say loudly today that our stand is with the people in the Sahel.
Negro land.
Sahel states. That's where we stand.
Before we go back to the rest of the video, let's set the stage. This is Kwasi Pratt, one of Ghana's most outspoken and celebrated journalists.
On fire.
Pratt has been relentless in his criticism of two of Africa's largest political bodies, ECOWAS and the African Union. His fiery stance? That these organizations have become mouthpieces for Western interests, failing to represent the true aspirations of Africans. How can these organizations claim to represent Africans when they act under the dictates of the West? They are quick to follow Western prescriptions, but slow to address the real issues facing our people.
Comrades.
Yeah, so I'm always playing this song on Shabbat about I Am Shem. Anybody heard me play that? About in the song here she's singing about they came and got her people out of Africa, but they Shem. They got them out of Africa. They call them Africans, but they Shem. The name of the song is I Am Shem, right? So we got to keep that in mind, right?
We are here today to make it plain, to make a very, very loud declaration.
Right.
That we stand with the people of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, and there's no shaking.
The thing with Shem.
We are here today to proclaim loudly that the Akufo-Addos and Ouattaras do not speak for us.
Yeah.
They speak for themselves.
Right. The African.
And the imperial masters. We speak for ourselves. And we say loudly
Hebrews
that our stand is with the people in the Sahel who have formed the alliance of Sahel states. That's where we stand. All these leaders without exception, all of them, trooped to their countries to go and support them in self-correlation. All of them. But when the people reject the new colonial order, When the people decide that there should be no foreign military bases on African soil, they come together and they want to fight. They don't fight for our salvation. They don't fight for our ability to grow our own food. They don't fight for our ability to educate their people on the basis of our own culture, on the basis of our own history, and so on. They fight to retain French control over Niger. They fight to retain French control over Burkina Faso and over Mali. They will never succeed. We will not allow them to succeed. Comrades and friends, as we speak, this very moment, the NATO countries have asked 3 countries in West Africa, Ghana, La Côte d'Ivoire, and Benin, to provide them with space to establish drone bases. Now you know that the United States of America had its largest drone base in Niger for many years. How did that benefit the people of Niger? How did that improve the economic conditions of the people of Niger? They are asking for these drone bases in order to prepare to wage war on the innocent people of Niger, to wage war on the innocent people of Burkina Faso. We will not allow the resistance against foreign military presence on every African space will continue unabated until final victory is achieved. Listen, drone bases.
Yeah, so I want to give you a golden nugget right quick. The name of this video is Must See. AU and ECOWAS should no longer speak for Africa. Go watch the video, and like I said, go to the phenotypes and look at his brother. So yeah, Most High, he can only operate through that man that he created and formed. That's the only way he operates. Go back to what Balak tried to do with Balaam. Every time he tried to get Balaam to curse Israel, the angel of the Lord entered into him, and Balaam went to the left on him. It's the same thing you're looking at right here. DNA.
Are not set up to produce cassava. Drone bases are not set up to educate our children, to teach them literature, to teach them history, to teach them science and so on. Drone bases are for killing. They are for war.
Okay.
Our need now is to make sure that our people have access to potable water. Our need now is to make sure that we defeat these senseless jihadists that they support. That is our need. Our need is to use the resources we get from the exploitation of our gold, from the exploitation of our diamonds, from the exploitation of uranium and so on, to build that new Africa.
So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. We talked about it before. Part of Moses' history that they hid from us was when Moses took that crown off of the Pharaoh head, and then it spooked them. The Egyptians, they believe in sorcery and witchcraft and magic and all that. So, and omens. So when Moses walked up there, the little kid, and took the Pharaoh crown off his head and put it on his head, he shut the whole Egyptian empire down. So the only thing they could do is get ready to kill him, right? So they took the crown from him, put it back on Pharaoh's head, and then they went into a big old council on what they was going to do with Moses. The only reason they gave him a break was because that was all. Hold on a minute. That was the Pharaoh's Moses. Okay, Pharaoh had the Pharaoh's daughter had found Moses and pretty much had adopted him. So if it wouldn't have been for that, they would have smashed his head like Nimrod did with the kid. Smash his head, thump his head against the wall, bust his head open. But they couldn't do that because Moses belonged to the Pharaoh's daughter, so they had to come to a council what to do with him because they knew there was something going on spiritually when Moses took the crown off his head. So they came to the decision was the angel of the Lord came amongst them as a man, right? So how you think he looked? He looked like an Israelite. Dark brown, afro, woolly hair, not no stringy ass hair, brown eyes, piercing brown eyes, dark brown. And he came amongst them and he said, give him another chance and let him put an onyx stone and put the crown up there and see which one he grabbed. So Moses brought him in there, he a kid, and Moses went toward the crown again. But the angel of the Lord was there as a man, posing as another man. And he guided Moses toward that onyx stone. And Moses took that onyx stone, put it in his mouth. And it burned his mouth. That's why Moses had a speech was messed up. They don't tell you that. All they tell you that Moses stumbled or fumbled with his words. But that's why he fumbled with his words right there. It was because he put that the angel called to keep him alive, keep him from being killed. He caused Moses to put that onyx stone in his mouth. And it burnt and it messed his mouth up. So Moses he was slurring his speech. That's why when the Lord called him, he said, "Why you coming and choosing me? Because I mean, I'm told. I can't speak right. I'm told." And then he told him, Moses is gonna be your mouthpiece. I'm using you, but Moses is gonna be your mouthpiece. So my point is this: when the angel of the Lord came in amongst all them Egyptians and all them, he looked like this dude right here. So it's not this dude talking. It's y'all. It's the Lord of hosts talking. Come on. Like I said, when Jeremiah told him, don't go to Egypt. Go to Egypt. Listen to go to Babylon and submit to the Pharaoh, submit to Nebuchadnezzar, submit to his son and his grandson, and build houses and get married. That wasn't the Lord of hosts that entered into Jeremiah. That's him talking. But the only way he could do that was the DNA. He can't go into somebody that got a penis hanging out their forehead with testes on it. It's got to be the DNA that when he formed Adam. He can go into them and speak to the people through that person. It's not the person talking, it's him talking. That's why he told Jeremiah, don't worry about what I'm talking. Don't worry about what you got to say. When you just go where I tell you to go, I don't worry about what you're going to say because he's going to enter into him and he's going to speak. So it's happening right in front of our face, but we ain't thinking like Hebrew.
God.
And it's the same thing when they say to Burkina Faso and Tory over there, right. Come out of her, my people.
Exactly. That's what they
Yes,
doing.
sir. That's what they doing. They come out of that. Don't mean they leaving that land.
Right.
Come out of her, my people.
They're looking at it. He dealing with them and showing them. Like I said, it's certain Negroes over there, they ain't dealing with you. We've been brainwashed over here. Like I say, they used the guy in Ghana for the 400 years. See what I'm saying? But he died. No, we know now that them 400, you got them 400 years twisted all up, man. You know, that's part of they use these Negroes to line us up. So check it out.
This citizen is entitled to clean water to build that new Africa. in which every child can go to school, to build that new Africa in which everybody who can work will have a job. That is our responsibility. And it is because of this responsibility that we insist on waging a full-scale agitation.
So way back, all through our history, over just our history over here. So they call them revolutionaries or activists or whatever. They killed them. That's who the most I was working through. Okay.
Struggle and protest against the erection of foreign military bases on African soil. Comrades and friends, I come from Ghana. I come from Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's Ghana. And I have seen the type of military cooperation agreement that they have signed with the United States of America.
Okay.
Under this agreement, when US soldiers come into our country and they kill the people of Ghana, you cannot take them to court. Under this agreement, when US soldiers come to Ghana and they destroy the property of the Ghanaian people, we cannot take them to court. Under this agreement, US soldiers, when they come to Ghana for operations, use our frequencies.
Those who have ears to hear, let them hear.
Under this
eyes to see, let them see.
US soldiers can walk in and out of Ghana as if they are walking in and out of their bedrooms. They don't need even passports to enter Ghana. Under this agreement, we have given them 1 out of 3 terminals of our airport for their operations. This must stop. This must stop. And it will only stop if we mobilize ourselves and if we continue to resist and if we continue to show solidarity with those who are achieving victory in these areas. You, the people of Niger, under the leadership, your current leadership, have managed to dismantle those military bases in your country. And we salute you, and we will learn from it, and we will do the same. Us as African people, as peoples of the world, fighting to liberate themselves from capitalism. And that option is self-reliant development in cooperation with other countries like us. Other countries.
So he said, iron ain't gonna mix with clay. Never iron. Clay. How was Adam made? The iron never mixed with the clay. The DNA, the real DNA, never mixed with the clay. And every time he showed up, they knocked it off, killed him. It's a duty. It's what you win right here. It's the clay.
Which are victims of capitalism and which are victims of imperialism. That is the only option available to us. Today, we are in Niamey, the capital of Benin. And we are here. We have not been tear gassed. We have not been arrested by the police. As a matter of fact, the government, led by Brigadier General Chiang, has made it possible by placing excellent facilities at disposal to think about Africa, to act about Africa, and to move forward together. We cannot be against people and organizations who stand with us. We cannot do that simply because some people are fixated on some forms of government.
Right, brainwash.
We are being told that it's a military regime. And because it's a military regime, we have to fight it. We are being told that we are not in the era of multi-party democracy and therefore hell must break loose. Comrades and friends, Look at those who are talking to us. Look at them. Look at what
exactly.
they do.
Look at them.
You all know that the United States of America is dominated by two political parties. No matter who wins, they will invade Iraq. No matter who wins, they will bomb Afghanistan to us. No matter who wins, they will impose sanctions on Cuba. No matter who wins, they will supply weapons for the genocide which is being committed in Gaza. Those are not two parties. That's a one-party state in two faces.
Two faces.
They should stop
Janus and Janus.
About multi-party.
Janus. Come on. So, let me hit this right quick, man, before I close out. So check this out. Most High trying to talk to us, but we're on the wrong frequency. Check this out. I talked about this the other day. Here we go. Check it out.
In a viral social media video monitored by the New Africa Channel, a mountain collapsed in the Katanga region of the Democratic Republic of Congo, revealing tons of copper deposit. A viral video on X, formerly known as Twitter, captured the breathtaking moment, showing people running in panic as the massive structure crumbled. Could this unexpected revelation of wealth mark a turning point for the DRC, or will it follow the familiar tale of squandered African resources? Social media erupted as the video circulated, igniting intense debates about the paradox of Africa's abundant natural wealth coexisting with widespread poverty. But remains one of the poorest countries in Africa. I really don't know why, lamented one user. Another added a sharp critique. The West will not allow any African country to enjoy their resources. Hope the Brits won't come and steal it. Quit the different user, reflecting a common fear of neo-colonial resource extraction. Also, another user sarcastically noted, United States coming to promote human rights, as well as minority rights, hinting at the political justifications often used to intervene in resource-rich nations. These reactions raise a provocative question.
So we watched about a year and a half ago, they found a whole mountain of gold, just appeared out of nowhere, the mountain of gold. Now right here, just a couple of days ago, copper. So I want to read something I continue to read all the time on Prophets of Awakening. It's Isaiah 44, 1-5. It says, yet now hear, O Jacob, not the rest of the world, my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, formed thee, Adam, from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jezreel whom I have chosen. I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, floods upon dry ground. And I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessings upon thine offspring, and they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourse. And one shall say, I am the Lord, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Right? So you read this right here, Isaiah 44, 1-5. The only way this can happen to you got to have a DNA, phenotype, for this to happen. That's what he's telling you right here. And like I said, we're looking at it, but we throw it off. We trying to make the New Testament work, trying to make JC work and all that. But once you cast all it off, it's right there in your face. He didn't turn a mountain into gold. Now he didn't turn another mountain into copper. He's helping us. He got Torah, you got the Niger, Burkina Faso, all them. It worked. We all looking in the wrong places. Worry about this nut bucket Trump. But everything he said right here, what I just read, he had it work. Making it happen. We tripping. We being sideballed. Okay? Any questions or comments before we go?
No, sir. Well, praise the Most High.
Okay. Yeah. So let me hit this here. Yeah. We got a Shabbat class in the morning at 10 to 12. So I'm looking to see everybody on now. Okay.